Hi, this is JP here from LeanWisdom. Welcome back to our weekend video series. Last weekend, I shared a video about a negative story, right? How a leadership did not take up the transformation and how the whole transformation was spoiled. Basically, we didn't even start, right? And there are leaders who are like that who don't allow you to make an impact to the business, right? Or because of their own waterfallish thinking and legacy way of working and so on. This weekend, I'm going to talk about a leader, a bunch of leaders, how they're making it work now. It's actually in progress now. So I'm going to share that. I was called for launching an art, right? One of the leaders of one specific customer product release. I was called to implement SAFe, right? It's a large enterprise, and it's a product which has got hardware, firmware, software combination, and every customer product delivery is unique for them, right? It has got its own set of features. So in this particular product for a specific customer, they wanted to implement SAFe. I said, okay, let me first do an analysis. So I did a quick analysis, and I found that there are 19-20 departments. They are all in silo, and all these departments are required to work in one hour to release. So I understood this problem. Basically, a principle 10, organize around value, was not there, right? And every release they have been having challenges, right? In the past, they have been struggling. So I spoke to the leader, right? Hey, say, just implementing SAFe, doing a PA planning and PA execution and system demo will not solve your problem, because you're fundamentally a structure as a problem. But this leader said, JP, I have a limited power, right? I can't change the entire enterprise, right? This is one portfolio of a large enterprise which has got around 7,000 people, right? And we were planning to launch for one product solution, right? One solution, and which is one small subset of it. And he said, I don't have a power, but I want to see whatever benefit I get is great for me, because today we are more waterfalls. I said, okay, but I'll expose you the problems, right? So we started, right, bringing people from 20 departments into a PA planning. It was not easy, because they have so many customers, and each customer has his or her own priority. So the departments have different priorities, right? One department has priority for a customer X, another department has a priority for customer Y. So there is no common priority for this department, because they componentize, they are departmentalized. It is hard for them to create one backlog. So this particular customer product suffered in a PA planning because the teams were not aligned, right? But the great thing that happened was I exposed this problem in the first PA planning. I told the leader that, see, we will implement. We did a proper implementation, right? Doing a leading SAFe training, product manager, product owners, and scrum masters, teams, everybody was trained. However, because the priorities were different, because the structure was not so aligned, they had a problem, right? But the beauty is it started highlighting a problem, right? So typically in this company, the escalations happen at the end of the product release, right? This release cycle is typically 2 to 3 years, right? Approximately 2.5 years. So the last 6 months is hell for them. A lot of escalations, nothing much has happened. Now we have to complete this. We have only 6 months time. Now, in the first PA planning, we had a problem, right? It's very critical to build this feature, but these two departments are not available to deliver, or their priority is different. We started highlighting, and this leader took this opportunity and went and escalated. So multiple sessions happened. Every problem came up, every iteration, every PI, 2 PIs. We could expose a lot of problems, right? Great. Now, this is about one art. My actual story is not about this art. My actual story is about a large scale transformation, right? This art is still moving ahead with the transformation. I will talk about this specific art a little later, maybe another video, but I will talk about how a top leader made an impact. Sometime in 2023, right, second half of 2023, I was in this company, for the coaching this particular art. I was having lunch during lunchtime around 1:30, 1:15, 1:20. I was having lunch. I got a call from head of transformation. He said, JP, where are you? I said, I'm having lunch. He said, can you quickly come for this particular meeting? I got senior most leaders of this portfolio of 7,000 people, and they want to understand what are the challenges, because a lot of problems got exposed from this art. I said, sure, but I'll quickly have lunch and come, right? By the time I reach this room, 5 minutes old, right? 1:35. I have 25 minutes. We introduced and we got connected with everybody, and they understood that I'm the one who's doing a large transformation for this or this particular art, right? Not small, not large. And they asked me, so what are the challenges you see, JP, as a consultant, right? And do we need to change as an organization? We are debating about it, right? But we have only 25 minutes time. So I started with this point, right? I said, hey, I will ask you a few questions, right? Who am I to decide, right? I want you to decide. You are the leader of this group. I want you to decide. I'll ask you a few questions. Number one, for all your customers, are you predictable? These questions are applicable for all your customers, right? Are you predictable? Number two, if you are predictable, are you able to release a quality product to them? Like there are no big escalations, right? High quality is very high, right? Number three, I know your timeline is too long. 2-3 years for such a product is not great, because you are in the industry for 20-30 years at least, that I know, and now it's too long. Are you able to reduce the timeline, right? Have you even thought about reducing this 2 years to 1 year, right? Number three. Fourth one, is your customer happy? End of every product, right? Released to a specific customer, is your customer happy? Fifth is, are you happy as leaders, right? Sixth one is, are your team members happy, right? 7,000 people in the organization, how happy are they, right? If the answer is yes for all, across the organization, across the portfolio, don't change, right? So this was like 5-10 minutes discussion, and one of the leaders said, JP, to be frank, my answer is no for all. We are struggling, and we want to transform ourselves. And trust me, guys, all the leaders there agreed. I really like the way the leaders were vulnerable there, right? They said, yeah, I think we are having a problem. I think it's time for us to question this. And they all agreed, yes, there's a problem. Then I told them, whatever you're trying now will not work. Your waterfallish way of thinking, right? Departmentalizing or componentizing, and then everybody becomes specialist in some area. To build that one product, I need these 20 departments, and each one is a specialist, right? Specialized the skill they have. But the feature comes out of 5-6 departments. One feature comes out of 5 departments, and 5 departments will collaborate. Now your organization structure is a problem. But by the time this discussion happened, we reached 2 o'clock, right? Not senior leaders, right? One of the leaders proposed that, hey guys, we all have a next meeting at between 2 and 3:30 for another important topic. But I think this is crucial. Can we postpone that meeting and we'll spend time with JP today, right? I was actually surprised, because typically you don't see leaders like that, right? You see leaders who are more oh, I'm done, I think let's take decision later, right? Or move on. They'll decide and move on. Here, they sense the problem they are facing big time, and if they don't address it, it will become a challenge for them. And all of them agreed. The meeting continued from 2 to 3:30. And I did a lot of whiteboarding. I drew value stream concept, right? And how your departments are coming, how there is a problem. I explained for half an hour, 40 minutes. They silently listened to me. And I said, all your problems that today you're facing is not because of your engineering efficiency. You are the best in engineering. The engineers that I worked with, the architects that I worked with in this company are super, right? Extremely good in their space, right? And this organization, the people are also highly committed people. They're not lazy buggers, right? They're very serious about it. But the organization structure is stopping, right? And I told them that, hey, this is not going to work. You have to be ready for a surgery, right? So you are sliced like this. Now you have to slice like this as a value stream organization. After listening for 45 minutes or 1 hour, the leader said, I truly agree. We all completely agree, JP, this is the solution. But it is not easy for us, because our organization is running like this for the last 20-30 years, right? We have sliced like this. Now you are asking us to slice like that. Overnight of 7,000 people, slicing like this is not possible. But give me some time, we will come back to you, right? We ended at 3:30 with this conversation. I came out. The head of transformation was also there in the whole meeting, right? And he was asking me, what do you think? I told him, trust me that, this group will change, right? He said, how do you know? I said, because I've seen many leaders, and these leaders are serious. These leaders want to make a change, and and they're talking about the true problem, right? And they are open about why it is not easy for them to change, but still they want to change, right? So, folks, you know what happened after that? 2023 over, 2024 started. I kept on meeting these leaders on and off, right? And they said we are making progress. They kept on updating me some small changes. Sometime second half of 2024, they came to me and said, I think we made up our mind, and this is the way we want to change, right? And we want to do the surgery, JP, what you suggested, that 6,500 people will change, right? I was like, great. And then we work together, and then the arts are built to deliver value, not to deliver a component, right? Now, multiple departments, people from multiple departments were combined in one art, which means I have 5 departments. Initially it was like 5 arts. Now we made 5 arts like this, right? Which is sliced across, right? Value stream thinking, because that 5 arts each art will work on one feature or, and deliver the value. So principle 10, organize around value, was implemented, right? That was the biggest problem. The moment we fixed it, we fixed in theory, and then we spoke about how often you want to release. So we spoke about the challenges, right? 2 to 3 years of release is a pain. We want to release in 1 year, 1.5 years, right? And then, how do we do it, right? Delivering each feature will make a sense, and then art structure will change. Then how do we collaborate between the arts? All this discussion happened. Huge deep thinking happened with the leaders before when we started with the next transformation change, right? All this changed in the last 4 or 5 months. I was super busy training the leadership, training all the art level leaders on leading safe, training all the product managers, all the product owners, scrum masters, teams, right? Out of 7,000 people, now almost 1,000 plus people, around 1,500 people are moved to safe now, right? In a new structure, right? When I did this, like we did a workshop for RTE, we did workshop for architects, right? We did workshop for product owners, product managers, right? 3 days of intensive conversation in RTE session, 3 days of intensive conversation with the architects, right? Even in this discussion, they found some problems. Yeah, our structure is good, but I think we have these gaps, right? Which is okay. Compared to the previous, now you are far better. At least we have addressed majority of the issues. And this is 1.2 version of your transformation. It will evolve, right? Start with somewhere, right? At least some 70-80% of your problems will get resolved, and they were all convinced, right? Now I see that they did a first PA planning, right? 10-15 arts launched, and the first PA planning is done, right? I see a progress of, they are making actually a much better progress, right? And it is a great benefit for the teams at the ground, right? Before they were not allowed to talk between the departments. Today they are sitting together and talking. Art is working together. Art is delivering value. There are system demos, PA system demos. Customers is called for a demo every 2 weeks. Right? It is an amazing thing, and I see that there's a lot of value here. Right? I thought I'll share this story about how top leadership making a change in their mind impacts very positively at the down. Hope the story was useful for you. Have a great weekend. See you next week.